Okay, welcome back to another video on the Vertigo 2 build. We're going to start the tip panels. So I have one on the bench here, and we have 2 servos per wingtip, and I'll flip this over and show you what that looks like. The servo bays are completely boxed in, so this is all molded in, so there's carbon all the way around on both locations, and you do have holes for the wire pre-drilled going all the way through. So we're going to be using the horns that came with the kit here, these fiberglass horns. You can certainly try to use LDS, but as you guys probably know, I don't like using LDS or IDS when the surfaces get really thin because you just lose a lot of resolution. So we'll be going with the regular horns. So the first step is going to be to mark the locations of the horns, and to do that we're going to use our X08 servos here. This one's not installed correctly, but you'll get the idea. Basically we're going to find the center of the servo arm and make some measurements and figure out where we want to draw our line for the horn and the surface, transfer that over to the top, and then we can start cutting. Now on this guy, you could just certainly use servos and frames with L-bends. That's what I'm going to use. But for the inner aileron, I'm going to use kind of a homemade third bearing frame. Very small setup here. Just 3D printed. There's a bearing in there and a spacer. So my measurements are not going to be applicable to your build, but the way I do this will be the same. So just mock everything up with your trays, servos, arms, etc., and find your own measurements. Don't solely rely on mine. So I've made some measurements here, and my measurement happens to be for the inner aileron. The center line of the control horn is 4 millimeters away from the wall of the servo pocket. So I measured over, used a square. I used a square on the edge of this. Let me just show you. Like that. Drew this line, measured over 4 millimeters, used a square with the aileron deflected to draw that line. You get the picture. And then over here, to carry it over, I did the same thing with the square and the hinge line with the surface deflected. Carried the line up and then around the top surface over here, and again I used a square with the surface deflected and just jammed that into the opening for the aileron hinge line. Okay, so then I marked a location for the horns, which the cut I'm going to make is about 20 millimeters. And this line here, let me get something to point with. Okay, so this line here is the line that we carried over from the servo arm. This represents basically the center of the servo arm, and then I moved over about 3 millimeters and drew another line, and then moved over about a little less than 2 millimeters and drew a third line and measured back 20 millimeters, and this opening here represents the cutout for our horn, which is this guy here. And I did the same thing on the outer aileron as well. So we're ready to cut those out. Now I've already put one of these in the oven, and it finished baking, and I just pulled it out. And this is what my setup looks like. See that? And I wanted to show you this because you could also come in this way. So if I deflected this horn, this aileron, You could do most of the work coming in this direction and not cut out such a big slot. So basically, this part of the slot would not be here, and just the raised portion of the horn would be sticking out. Probably look a little nicer, but a little harder, a little trickier to set up. And in my opinion, you run the risk of damaging the skins when you're trying to remove the material a little more than doing it this way. So I'm just going straight in from the top here. You can choose to do this any way you like. This is just how I'm doing it. So we're going to go ahead and open up these and start filing to get our openings for the horns. I've removed the tape by cutting this out with an X-Acto knife. So this slot is the area where we're going to remove material. And to start doing this, I'm going to use a Dremel tool with a really fine grinding bit. It's about maybe 1 millimeter wide. And I'm going to be really careful. And I'm just going to use that to basically remove the top skin. And I'm going to finish up with files. Okay, so our slots are finished, and this is what they look like with the horns in. Let me just pull this guy out so you can see what the slot looks like. And again, I finished that up with a file. Got the aileron there, or the outer aileron. Now I'm going to cut little notches into the fixed part of the tip panel as a relief. See that? So we get the travel that we want. And again, I'm going to do that with the same Dremel bit and a file, and after that we're going to move on to cutting the channels for the wire. So that's what my notches look like that I filed in to get some relief for the horns. It's the outer aileron, and this is the inner aileron here. The next thing to do is cut holes for the wire that we're going to use to make the linkage out of. And we're going to have to get a little creative with that, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So we're going to do some prep work on the horns now before I make the holes for the steel wire to pass through. These holes come drilled undersized, and I'm using a 1.2 millimeter diameter wire for my linkage. I think the kit comes with 1.5. You can certainly use it. I'm just going to go with little smaller diameter stuff. Just on the ailerons, if you're doing this for flaps, if you're going to use the wire on the flaps, I recommend sticking with what comes with the kit. But in order to drill these holes out, since I don't have a 1.2 millimeter drill, I just cut off a bit of the wire and sharpen the edge, and I'm just going to use that to drill into the horns. And I have this pin vise in my drill actually, so kind of brutish I guess, but it's going to work, and it's going to leave us with a fit that doesn't have any slop. And that's what it looks like when it's done. A nice tight fit. Happy with that. Moving on, I'm going to cut some small slots into the servo bays for the wire to pass through. You see that in both. They're probably smaller than you would require for the flaps because we don't need as much travel. And I'm going to do that with the same bit on my Dremel tool to start, to open, and then I'll switch to files. And then we'll come in with the wire from this side and try to reach those slots. So I've pushed the wire through the surface, and I just lined it up with the line that we drew to try to keep it as perpendicular as possible to the hinge line. And that's kind of the angle we have there. And if I flip it over, you can see where it's exiting our slot that we made. And I also just kind of pushed it up and down with my finger to get some of the foam to get out of the way, like kind of just crunch the foam out of the way and give it a little bit of a channel or a slot. That worked out well. I also did that here on the outer aileron. And now if I zoom in real tight, you can see a little bit of filing work I did to give, well, first of all, we have the relief for the horn itself, and then over on this side we have just a tiny little relief for the end of the L bend, and then over here we have a little bigger relief for the wire, the kind of bent 90-degree part of the wire. And I don't know if we'll be able to see, you can see the hole there we made for the wire to go through. And we have similar setup here, same thing, a little bit of relief for the end of the L bend, the horn, and then part of that 90-degree. And I'll get a horn in there and set it up so you can see what that looks like. Alright, so I have my horn in, and if I deflect the surface, you can see how that kind of just fits right in those recesses. The horn's not glued in, so it wants to wander a little bit. But in the full up position, we get all the up aileron that we need and then some. And the same thing out here. So again, this is the way I'm doing it. You can do this a little differently. I'm just giving you guys ideas. So, okay, the next thing we got to do is prep all of our servos and get them centered and programmed how we want them. So we need 4 X08s set up, ready to go. And we're going to prep our horns, sand them, get them ready for bonding. And then we're going to start measuring and making some of these linkage rods, because we're going to have to glue the horns in place with the L-bend linkage already installed, because we're not going to be able to get them on after the fact. Okay, so I did manage to make my linkage for the inner aileron positions. As you can see, I put the servo in and marked where I needed my bend, and then I used a Sharpie to mark the linkage, and then I made my bends and cut them down to the appropriate length. I'm not going to go over how to make L-bends, but you guys get the picture. And I have started scuffing down the servo bay. I'm not done yet to bomb the servo tray to. You want to make sure if you have paint in your servo bay, you get through to the carbon. So I'm going to continue with this in kind of a thick square pattern until I get through to the carbon. And the hole you see there is just a kind of a receptacle for the screw on my third bearing setup, so the servo sits flush. And then let me show you one thing I did over here on the top surface. The slot or the hole where the linkage passes through, I had to lengthen that or widen it. I don't know how you want to put it, but I had to make it wide enough for the L bend to be fed through there, because obviously just running a straight rod is much easier than an L bend. So anyway, I opened that up with the Dremel and did a little bit of filing there. And one thing I want to tell you is that when you run the L bend in, you're obviously going to be getting resistance from the foam, and you're going to crunch and push the foam out of the way, and that's fine. I would recommend pushing it in with the surface deflected and have the L bends pointing down, and make sure that your angle, so let me get a piece of wire here, so you're pushing it in, and you don't want to go at too high of an angle where your L bend starts dragging or cutting the bottom wing surface, the carbon skin. So you kind of want to have it more of a shallow angle, because if your L bends are bent downwards, the round part is not going to really damage your top skin, but the pokey part could damage your bottom skin. So just kind of give it a shallower angle and make sure you're driving it through parallel and exactly on that line you drew. Use that as a guide, and then you basically have to find the slot, you know, that we cut earlier. You guys, I'm sure you guys have done this countless times, and I have a bunch of other videos on how to do this, but those are just some tips. So I think I'm going to continue scuffing the servo locations, and I was going to go ahead and just do the inner servo locations and then move on to the outers, but I'm going to switch plans here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep all the locations for the L-bends, and I'm going to push them through with the horns scuffed and cleaned, and then I'm going to epoxy all the horns in basically, and then after that epoxy is dry, I'll go back and we'll get all the servos in. So I need to fabricate the linkage for the outer servo locations, so we'll do that, and I'm going to continue doing some work on the servo bays to get those scuffed up and ready for epoxy. So I've moved on to the outer aileron and I'm making the linkage, and I'm just showing you kind of what it looks like here. I have the servo in place and I made my mark on the linkage with a Sharpie on the rod, and I'm going to unhook it from the horn, pull it out, make the bend, trim that bended end to size, and then run it back through the wing. Alright guys, well I skipped ahead a little bit. Sorry, I forgot my camera at home, so I had to do a few steps without filming it. But basically, I epoxied the control horns in, and you can see I put a little bit of a black pigment in the epoxy just to make it look a little neater. So I did that first on the outer and the inner ailerons. So I hooked up the linkage, inserted the horns, got them epoxied in, and let that cure fully overnight. And then after that, I got my servos in place. Excuse the squeaking. You can see my little third bearing support there with the L bend. That's the inner aileron, and then out here we have the outer with no bearing. And this is kind of the setup I had to install the servos. Just put some ballast slugs on top to hold them while the epoxy cured, and they're all done now. So that basically wraps up the construction of the tip panels. And one thing I think I could have done differently is, and I can still do it actually, but I could probably go even shorter on the servo arms, so I could probably move the L bend down slightly. I would have to drill my own holes, but I get tons of throw in the ailerons, so it's a little too much. But I don't know if I'll change that, but just something to keep in mind. If you install the horns the way I did, you can use really short horns on the servos. So besides that, we have to do the wiring and put the covers on. And I'm going to be using Jetty X-Bus for this, which I've never used before. So the wiring is going to be a little different, and we're going to have little converters in each of the inner aileron bays. So I think I'll save that for another video, maybe dedicated just to the entire wing wiring. But for now, I think we'll just wrap this one up here. So sorry I missed some steps with the filming, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. So that's the Vertigo 2 aileron panel assembly, and I'll see you guys in the next video.